With the rise of the three-point shot in recent years, we've also seen the fall of the mid-range shot. For Michael Jordan, it was his most favoured shot, and he is the best mid-range shooter ever, shooting close to 50% for his career from 10 to 19 feet. But even in today's era, there are a few players who still use the mid-range shot to their advantage, such as Kawhi Leonard, CP3, and Kevin Durant. So that begs the question, is the mid-range shot dead? And to come to the conclusion on this, you really need to look into the stats. Last season, the percentage of shots taken from 10 feet to the three-point line was 17%, and this range is larger than what the true mid-range distance is, as it's from about 12 feet to the three-point line, not 10 feet. So less than 17% of shots taken from the field this season were mid-range shots, whereas if you compare this to the 1997-98 season, just over 37% of shots were from 10 feet to the three-point line. And looking at this graph, you can see that since around 2001-2002, the number of mid-range shots taken has been going down ever since. And with now most NBA coaches not even practicing mid-range shots, and future rookies knowing that teams don't want to sign mid-range shooters, will the number of mid-range shots taken continue to decline? Well, this is the way I see it. If you're a very good shooter from mid-range and you have the space to shoot, then you should always shoot it. Because last season, the average number of points scored per possession was 1.106, which would be the equivalent to shooting 55.3% on all two-pointers. So if a player can make, let's say, 60% of their mid-range shots, then that is a good shot to take, whether it's a popular shot or not. The big argument against the mid-range shot, however, is when they are within a couple of feet of the three-point line, as it's very little difference in the difficulty of the shot, but gets you an extra point if you make it. But I'm not focusing on long twos here, I'm focusing more on open or lightly contested shots from around 12 feet to about 18 feet, which is around the area that a lot of players could shoot 60% from. But with the decline of the mid-range shot, we're also seeing less post-ups. The number of post-ups per possession has declined for the last 6 consecutive seasons, and is decreased from 11.9% of total possessions to 4.7%. Many bigs won't even be focused on their post game, as a center's role in today's NBA is to set screens and spread the floor, as offenses run Murray ball, which is where you only shoot threes, free throws, and layups, as coaches believe these are the most efficient shots. So many bigs are just working on their threes, as many centers will lose their role in a team if they cannot shoot. One great example of this is Brook Lopez, who for his first 8 seasons in the NBA only attempted 31 threes and made 3 of them. So he really shouldn't have shot any of these at all. But then he had possibly the biggest increase in three-point attempts from one season to the next, as he went from 14 threes in the 2015-16 season to 387 threes the next. An insane increase in threes that overall didn't really improve his game, as he averaged less points because of it. And the Brooklyn Nets even got worse when Lopez shot all these threes, going from 14th seed to 15th seed. Of course, you can't just blame Brook Lopez shooting lots of threes on the Nets' worst season, but there's no way it helped them. Even though he shot a respectable 34.6% from free, he'll be much more effective in the post, either taking it to the basket or kicking it out. And recently, the most effective mid-range shooters I've seen are Kawhi, KD, and Jokic. And what these players all have in common is they release the ball very high to avoid being blocked, as typically when shooting the mid-range shots, your man is right up on you, unlike a lot of threes that are far less contested. And of course, I don't recommend players to start shooting the stomp ball shuffle that Jokic shoots, as for most players this will be a very, very low percentage shot. However, a solid mid-range shot can catch defenders out, as defenses are expecting them less and less, so can be caught off guard much more easily. But in a 3-point hyper league that the best teams succeed in, I don't see the amount of threes attempted slowing down anytime soon.